My name is Elizabeth Aguerrevere, and I'm a 7th grade math teacher at Abbott Middle School, and this is my first year teaching. Last year, I was a student teacher at Hillsdale High School, and I was teaching 10th grade geometry along with my co-teacher there, and students worked independently a lot. They looked at problems from a textbook, and we really followed the textbook curriculum for that class. And for this year in my 7th grade class, I'm excited to incorporate more group work and get away from the textbook so that students can feel more comfortable sharing ideas and talking to each other to learn math that way rather than from independent work. Peer coaching has been a huge part of making this year feel great as a first-year teacher. I can't say enough good things about my coach, Ana Torres. She has been extremely supportive. She teaches the lessons that I teach a week ahead of me and then tells me how they went so I can adjust them and kind of do my own thing with her input. And just getting to collaborate with her to plan things together, to get her feedback, to be able to observe her as a teacher, and just to learn from her has been incredible. I actually came to Abbott specifically so that I could work with Ana and have her continue to be a mentor for me because she's great. One way that I provide equitable instruction is by making sure that all of our newcomer students and learners of the English language are supported not just by me but by their peers. So for example, if I have a student that's still learning English, I'll be sure to sit them next to another student that speaks the same language and can access the material in the same way. I also make sure to translate material when it's necessary. Students can take a test in Spanish if needed. Majority of students at the San Mateo-Foster City District are Latinx, so a lot of families at home that only speak Spanish, a lot of students here that only speak Spanish, and I speak Spanish, so being able to connect with students and families with that cultural filter is a really important part of supporting them, and again, just making sure that they're supported by their peers. Heterogeneous group work is when students collaborate and they understand that nobody's good at everything, but everybody's good at something. So every student has strengths, and heterogeneous group work highlights the strengths of all those students because traditionally math is thought of as like, oh, working quickly and knowing the right answer. But it's not that at all, right? That's the strength of some students, but other students are visual learners or they like to talk through their ideas out loud, and heterogeneous group work allows the strength of all students to shine and play an important role of all students learning. I think students have responded really well to heterogeneous work in the classroom. There's a lot of students that started the year being really shy and scared to speak up in front of the class that I have really seen come out of their shell as the year goes on because they have to share with their group first, right? Or with a partner first. And so sharing ideas when it's not just about an answer, sharing an answer, it's sharing like, oh, this is how I see this problem. What do you think? Or I disagree because this is how I see the problem. And are those different ideas? Is it the same? So having students be able to speak to each other about that before sharing with the whole class, I've found has really helped them build their confidence. One thing I can highlight about the work of collaborative math teaching is just having a lot of people in the district that I can rely on and get feedback from, observe. I co-plan with my coach, and so being able to know that not just my coach and I, but all these other teachers at the district and I are teaching the same lessons, and we can compare notes, we can help each other improve how we're teaching the curriculum. Just knowing that there's so many of us is really helpful in making this feel like a supportive environment. My experience learning math was in a traditional setting, very much like desks in rows, individual, one person to a desk, no talking. And it's really incredible to see, right? Only some students can shine in that environment. Only the students that raise their hand quickly or that know the right answers every time can really shine in that environment. And it's really cool to see that in an environment like we're building here at the district, where every student has a strength and we try to highlight everybody's strengths, every student can grow their confidence and they can all understand that they can learn math, that they can know math, that they can be mathematicians. And obviously that plays a huge role in disrupting the idea that math is only accessible to some people, that, you know, some people are good at math and some people aren't good at math. So a lot of the work that we're doing is to help students understand that everybody can learn math, and that it's all about knowing that you can do it, believing that you can do it, not just yes or no, and having a growth mindset where students feel like they can do it. I think a heterogeneous environment really, really helps to foster that mindset of like, maybe I can do this, right? I always had a passion for math well, I guess in high school. Okay, in high school, I started being really interested in math, and that turned into, you know, my parents and kind of everyone around me saying like, oh, you should be an engineer, you should be an engineer. And because that's what you do when you like math, right? That's what you should do. But I always knew that I wanted to work with kids. I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher, but that didn't feel like something I could do. I didn't feel totally supported doing that. Not like by family. This probably shouldn't go in. But it's not like my family didn't support me. I just felt like I would make them more proud if I became an engineer. And so right out of high school, I went on to study civil engineering. And it was a really cool experience. I learned a lot, and there's a lot from engineering that I think I bring into math, into the classroom. But again, I always knew I wanted to work with kids, and that's where I felt like in my element. And so I studied civil engineering, and right out of college, I started working in a construction company because I felt like I should give engineering a chance. But I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do, and so I started looking into teaching preparation programs, and I applied kind of out of a whim, not really thinking it would lead anywhere. I didn't think I would get in anywhere. And I did, and I ended up quitting that job to prepare to become a teacher last year, and it's been the best decision that I've ever made. I love teaching. It's the best job that I could have ever had. I'm so excited that I get to do this work.